Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have quite the stories to cover, from an update on the story we covered in the last video over the biggest rappers in the world on global Spotify for November based on monthly listeners that continues to spark some wild reactions from hip-hop fans. And we also got an update on the whole drama surrounding the game, who's been virally accused of lying.
Will it ever end?
Don't know.
And it has gotten to the point, if game tells you the sky is blue, you have to go outside to check. And this is based on the latest, where he claimed he wanted to sign Kendrick Lamar. And like we covered in the previous videos, some of Kendrick's associates have shut this down. And now we got Game's manager pretty much throwing him under the bus after this was brought forward to him. And today we also have a story about Eminem and Dr. Dre's involvement in crafting the classic Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent over accounts from former 50 Cent associate Sha Money XL. And this has sparked debates which we'll get to later, including more details on why 50 Cent and Sha Money's relationship was never the same after he got signed to Eminem and Dr. Dre. And before we get started, don't forget the usual that keeps the content flowing. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and more importantly, join the conversation below in the comment section after the video, or you could join the channel. And starting with the update on the biggest rappers of November on global Spotify, now that the report is circulating among big hip-hop outlets, the reactions are all over the place, as on one end you could find takes like Eminem stayed off social media for a decade and still top 3, legendary.
You sure about that?
Have you thought about merch?
And based on word on the social media streets, Eminem became Merchinem, since while he's not exactly active on social media, his account has been active when it comes to merch. And more aimed at Drake at #1, with a pop R&B album released this year being compared to real rappers who released actual rap albums, rolls eyes emoji. So it's safe to say that the debate on if Drake is a rapper is far from over. And we got some more that pretty much qualify as engagement bait. Drake is only there cause he's light skinned and Eminem only there cause he's white.
What are those holes?
So what the holes mean is low activity. The front part of your brain is less active than it should be.
But jokes aside, it is crazy how Drake has now been added to the narrative that's typically reserved for rappers like Eminem, the whole skin shade angle, to diminish his accomplishments rather than focusing on the music.
First time?
And moving on, if you were with us over the last few days, you know that the game's been putting in some Olympic level performances for the title of greatest liar in hip-hop music after a clip hit the web of Game claiming he wanted to sign Kendrick. And even the throwback video showing Game make some wilder claims didn't help matters.
Somebody that I helped, shape and mold. I remember when I told K-Dot that K-Dot wasn't gonna work and that he should just change his name to Kendrick.
Funny, it's a good story. You're funny. You're a funny guy.
And this was brought forward to Game's manager, Wack 100, and he threw him under the bus.
What up? All right, look, we talking about this shit. Your artist went on the thing talking about that he tried to sign Kendrick Lamar, right?
Who are you talking about? You talking about Game?
Yeah, hold up, Terrell, you explain it, cause I
remember like this. You have to remember, and I think Terrell gonna agree with this. You wasn't around back in them days.
Oh no, I was.
I'm just being real respectful. I ain't trying to argue with you. We talking about 20.
When they had GDE, nigga, I was around.
No,
yeah.
we talking about before J-Rock even had the feature with Wayne and all that shit.
Yeah, I was around with my brother Q. I was around.
But I mean, whatever him and Top Dog conversation was, I can call Top. I don't.
Well, we can call him too.
Y'all know Top. I do know Top at one point in time had kind of wanted to do a joint venture. I don't know if it was with Rock. I don't know if it was with, but that only Top could Top and 2T's could speak on that because 2T's was gang security, and 2T's always been who he is at Top. But
and 2T spoke on it. He said blood is lying. He never wanted to sign Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, so why if 2T spoke on it? Why you calling me about it?
Nigga, because these niggas is arguing. Hold up, Wack.
I can only speak on what I did for Kendrick Lamar.
What you do, Wack?
Well, I'm the first nigga put him on New York radio. First nigga put him on a New York stage. Cause I had the K-Slate plug. And Top, if you listen to it, when I called him from No Jumper, he told Adam, nigga, Wack gave me the keys to New York. So that's what that was. But other than that, I don't know what Top and Game discussed. 2 T's would know because 2 T's was always the go-between to that. So if 2 T's said that, that's what 2 T's said.
It didn't have to be this way.
But an old leopard can't change his spots.
It burns!
And some have added, not Wack, talking about getting Top on the phone, laughing emoji. Look, not the biggest fan of Wack, but he do keep it 100 again. The fact 2 T's came online to call Cap on Red Rose, we already knew Red Rose was lying. And perhaps this is true. It is like everyone wants a small claim to Kendrick's success, laughing emojis. And if you recall, like we covered in the last video, Game said the current state of hip-hop is trash.
It's trash. Yeah, I don't like it. And me, I'm just, one of the best rappers on earth. So, I mean, what am I saying?
Calm down.
And now we get some wild takes that have followed that pretty much qualify as rage bait depending on who you ask. Game raps better than most.
Okay, go on.
He's better than rappers not named Jay-Z, Cube, and Eminem, and has the best discography in hip-hop.
Oh, wait, you're not joking.
And moving on, a story about Eminem and Dr. Dre's involvement in making Get Rich or Die Trying has got fans out here calling 50's former associate Sha Money XL a liar after this hit the web from Diverse Mentality. 50 Cent finished Get Rich or Die Trying before meeting with Eminem and Dr. Dre. During our exclusive interview with Sha Money XL, the producer told us how the majority of 50's debut album was finished before getting with Dr. Dre and Eminem. What is crazy is, they recorded the whole thing on a $200 microphone while being in Sha's basement, with the body of work being so good that all Em and Dre had to do was add extra details to it. This says a lot about 50's vision and his ability as a rapper.
After that deal, man, for one, he got a huge advance, $1 million advance. That was really big at that time. He had little money from what was left over from the Trackmaster pub deal or whatever. So he wasn't completely broke, but he was spiraling down. So that really took him up. And for me, it didn't change because I ain't got no money out of that. So I just was still there just recording. So for me, I was excited because now it's like, yo, we're going to Dre studio. Oh, we're flying to Detroit. We're going to M. So now I'm like, yo, these are legends. We're working with the best of the best. So for me, I was excited. And that's where I started learning everything because me, I was in my crib recording everything for him. But then I go to Dre studio and I see this whole team, engineers. Even though Dre mixed it himself, he had the recording engineer. He had a whole staff. And he was like, yo, what are you recording to? And then, I got the mic here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mic was like $100, $200 mic, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, but the vocals sound good, man. He gave me a big up, but he was like, yo, we're gonna come here and re-record this or add more layers. Fifth, I want you to do ad-libs like that. So the whole process became a whole educational because I learned so much and they taught me, the better miking thing. And Sony mic cost like 10 grand. That's what Fifth was rapping on at Dre studio, at M studio, 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, we going back home to $200 mic, recorded the whole album on that, bro. And they would take the sessions and then they'll do their mixes and add more stuff to it. But that process was really like, all right, we signed and they sent us back home. And we literally recorded more than half the album even prior to that signing. So we could go through a list of the songs and I can tell you most of these were done before we even signed to Shady Aftermath. And then all the ones with Dre produced by him, we did with him, and then the few that we did with Eminem, and then M did some co-production on a lot and mixed. Dre mixed half, M mixed half, and then my boy Pat Viala only mixed 2, which I was happy because they actually let us do something in our own studio with Pat where we was able to deliver up to the frequency of Dre and M, which taught us a lot because we had to sound right good next to them, which was not easy.
And perhaps it was the opening statement from the tweet that caused the commotion that sparked the heated debates. Bro, the biggest hit was produced by Dre. How in hell was it finished? And they kept going. Patiently Waiting, Don't Push Me, PIMP, Poor Lil Rich were produced by Eminem or Porter. He's lying.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I didn't write that.
And like I said, I believe the opener of the tweet is responsible for this. 50 Cent finished Get Rich or Die Trying before meeting with Eminem and Dr. Dre. And more if I can't back down, heat In the Club were produced by Dre, Patiently Waiting and Don't Push Me by M. That's more than adding bells and whistles, LOL, one user argues. But regardless of the wording of the tweet, it is clear that a lot of work was done before 50 met with Eminem and Dre. And there's even a wilder story about why 50 Cent fell out with Sha Money after he signed with Eminem and Dre, and we found out more details about this in 50's book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Check out a snippet from the audiobook that explains it.
I've seen a lot of people miss out on a golden opportunity by chasing a check instead of maneuvering for a piece of equity. Probably the most egregious example is my former associate, Sha Money XL. I met Sha when I was first getting into music. Before signing to Interscope, I recorded a lot of songs for my mixtapes in the studio Sha operated in the basement of his house in Long Island. It wasn't a professional setup by a long shot, but it got the job done. I consider Sha my partner. We never formalized our relationship, but in my head, it was a foregone conclusion that when I signed my next major label deal, Sha would eat off the situation too. So imagine my surprise when one of the first things Sha did after I signed my Interscope deal was present the label with a $50,000 invoice. He wanted to be reimbursed for the recording sessions we'd done at his house. That blew me away on several levels. First off, we've never discussed Sha charging me for the time at his place. And if that was something he felt that he was owed, why would he submit something so overinflated? $50,000 to record in his basement? It was disrespectful. I decided to try and talk some sense into Sha. Look, I didn't think you were going to hand me a bill for what we did at your crib, I told him. But if you feel like you need to get paid for those sessions, just take $30,000 and a point off the album. I was offering less cash than he wanted, but it was actually a very generous deal. A point was an industry term that meant for every album sold, Sha would receive 1% of the royalties. In the record business, points are what everyone is looking for. If an album really takes off, there's no limit to the amount you might make. Judging from the buzz around me, we were talking about an album that was definitely going to take off. Sha wasn't interested in the point. Even his lawyer told him he was crazy. Take the fucking point, the guy told him. I'll give you $20,000 right now for it. What the fuck is wrong with you? He wouldn't even listen to his own attorney. Sha wanted his $50K for me and wasn't going to budge. He ended up getting it, but it would be a decision that cost him dearly. That single point on Get Rich or Die Trying ended up being worth $1.3 million. He didn't just lose over $1 million either. After Get Rich or Die Trying started flying off the shelves, Interscope offered me a $15 million deal for G-Unit Records. Once that deal was signed, I noticed Sha started hanging around my office a lot. I guess he thought he was going to get some of that budget too. Nope, you ain't getting none of this money. I was quick to tell him. You took your equity out of the situation when you demanded the $50,000. Now you've been paid for everything you've done. Our relationship was never the same. In just a few months, I'd gone from seeing Sha as a partner I was prepared to share millions with, to just another contractor. Sha undercut his own position by not understanding how to negotiate. He got fixated on that $50,000 and could not get himself unstuck.
Oh, I'm beyond redemption. It's a cold world, Bowden.
Damn.
And all in all, Get Rich or Die Trying is a legit example of the saying, and I'm paraphrasing, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, the whole premise of Lose Yourself.